Mhm. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the live. My name is James McDonald, and that is my, gotta turn down my phone. And welcome to tonight's call. So, tonight's live stream, it's all about tapping into phenomenal, say, or individuals that have done phenomenal feats, right? Humans of, icons of humanity. And again, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is James, and by working with a teacher of mine and really wanting to discover the depth of who I was, who I am, and how the world ticks, it's led me on this path of uh, yeah, learning a lot of things from, say, the personal development industry. I've been in the industry for over a decade now, and especially over the past 5 years, I've cultivated these abilities. It's very unique abilities that I can basically tap into, say, the algorithm behind, say, this physical, behind why life is the way it is, right? So why people do things, why are people successful, why aren't people successful, all those sorts of things. Okay, and again, living or dead, I can literally just like, you could be like, hey, like Joe Blow and whoever it is. I don't need to see a picture or anything like that. I can just literally like see the coding. Okay. And that's kind of what I do in my sessions as well. And this isn't about that, but so it goes more than just say like reading the files. With my abilities, I actually help you edit your files as well, right, to a more beneficial version of who you are. And that version of you provides solutions to you, right? Whatever challenges you have, uh, by coming into that present moment time, by coming into the moment, and you start to self actualize, or you start to say problem solve, sorry, you start to solve your own problems. Yeah. So it's really potent. And so, what inspired this series with tapping into icons of humanity is, again, more, I want to get to know the humans of the world, right? I want to see what made them tick, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And then strip away the fat, so strip away all the bullshit that may have been carrying in their lives, and then purifying the good, right? Taking what is beneficial for me, right? And this is what you guys really want to be doing, right? As well. So we'll make this an experience. So just taking a breath in for those that have jumped on, even if you're listening to the replay, take the time just to sit down, relax, and just bathe in this talk on Sir Ernest Shackleton. Okay, and I'll like explain a little bit about what he did, and then we'll like tap into him, and then again, see the good, the bad, the ugly, and then see what we can utilize for ourselves. Okay, so, and that's what this series is about. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's looking at humanity and going, okay, cool. Well, we are of humanity, right? Uh, all of it. Again, the trauma and all the brilliance, right? The accolades and the not so good things in the world. Okay, we're all a part of it. So how can we, say, take the good, right, and evolve it, right? Use it for ourselves in our own lives. Okay, that's really the key. So taking that breath in, and just noticing where you are. So looking around, noticing where you are, the walls, whatever else it might be, the floor, as we just settle into the moment. And we'll just get stuck into it, okay? So Shackleton, right? Uh, you know, uh, well, there you go. It's a bit sad, actually, now that I see it. He didn't really know who he was, okay? And again, I haven't read into anything. I don't really, I know some of the key points, but and this is where I see things from a really different perspective than most people. Most people would probably see his life, go, oh wow, like what a great individual. And absolutely, it looks like he did. Well, not he looks like he did some phenomenal things that really, say, tested the boundaries on, say, human exploration. So for those of you who don't know who he is, he was, I believe he was British or Irish. I think he was Irish. An Irish, say, explorer, a polar explorer back in the 1900s, early 1900s. 19, right? So, he'd have his crew, and he would, uh, explore the world, explore specifically Antarctica. And he he's most famous for a failed expedition, where he got trapped in basically like the ice of the Antarctica, and he had to leave a lot of his crew members on that ship and then go get help, basically. And I don't know the exact time frame, but it was over the course of 2 years of him leaving that ship in Antarctica, figuring it out, and rescuing his entire crew. So correct me if I'm wrong, but he rescued his entire crew. So amazing, right? Super amazing feat, absolutely. And so when I talk about this next segment, I'm not dissing him. I'm not trying to strip away, and because I'm kind of tapping into him. He's agreeing, and as I work on him, I'll help him cross over. It looks like he's already kind of crossed over, maybe not. Anyway, so I'll help him do that. And so just taking another breath in, because then as I tap into, say, his consciousness, we can kind of have a bit of a dialogue. Okay, so but yeah, he didn't know who he was, and he was literally looking for himself at a very deep level. The core reason on why he did what he did was because he didn't know who he was at a core level, from a timeless perspective. Okay, and this goes beyond the mind, right? So again, just taking another breath in, guys, and noticing what you can hear around you, and noticing your spine. So yeah, and I could be way off with this, but so when I look at him, he actually seems quite numb. Okay, numb to the world. So and it's why he got into, say, exploring, right? Because all of the mundane bullshit, maybe not bullshit, but just stuff, that say normal people would go through, go to work, family, kids, kind of like more of the traditional role, or like the safer role. It was really numb for him. So he literally, it was like, yeah, cool, like this is like super boring. Right. How many of you have ever been in that situation where, like, you go to work and it's like, yeah, this is really boring. But for him, it was almost like death. It was literally like, no, I need to, uh, because it was, right? Because for whatever reason, his nervous system, it's probably why he could handle the cold as well so much, because his nervous system, he it wasn't really fine tuned, right? Again, his nervous system was numb, so he could handle really intense things, right? His senses, from what I'm seeing, like his like yeah, his senses, so heat or cold or even pain, it looks like his pain threshold was just like crazy, right? Just out of this world. Because again, his nervous system, he wasn't really, yeah, for whatever reason, he wasn't like fully, say, in his body, if that makes sense. He kind of was. But yeah, let's just keep looking at that because this is really fascinating, right? And you see this in elite athletes as well. Some athletes have this same pattern where they just like, they go off, they just go to another, so they go into another reality of who they are when they're like Kobe Bryant did a lot. I mean, that's a whole nother story. But to say deal with pain, right? So just taking another breath in. And so even though he did an amazing thing, had amazing feats, achievements in his life, from what I'm seeing, later on, he wasn't satisfied. There was that question mark of like, what's next? What else could I have done? Uh, right? That thirst for achievement, it never got, say, quenched. So even on his deathbed, from what I'm seeing, and it probably went up all the way to his deathbed. It was really uh, yeah, he kind of got it at death, right? Or like now. He's like, oh wow, my life. It wasn't. It didn't matter about the achievements, even though it matters, right? It's was I truly in harmony with my purest self? And so for him, he wasn't really. So just taking another breath in, guys. And he's got a little message for everyone as well. So we'll just see what he has to say. Yeah. So again, I'm just like tapping into that consciousness, like a plug-in. So I'm not channeling or anything like that. I'm just like expanding into that consciousness. And then you can like pick up like a Wi-Fi signal, right? And then you like bing, connect to that Wi-Fi, and you like see the data in that Wi-Fi signal. Okay. So just taking a breath in, yeah. Uh, yeah. Well. So so again, taking a breath in, uh, and again, as we talk about him, helping him as well, and like his crew that are still basically like stuck here. So, but he's basically saying like, just listen. He's like, yeah. He's like, listen, really listen to this because it's again, so many people in the world, and I was guilty of it years back. Um, it it doesn't matter about the physical achievements, right? So just taking a breath in, noticing your spine. The physical achievements, they're amazing, they're wonderful. You get recognized, you get publicity, you get fame. But what you don't get is what you're really looking for. What I was really looking for. Yeah. I went to the ends of the earth to try and figure it out, and I still couldn't discover it. So years go on, I made great achievements, and those achievements didn't fill me up. I was still searching, still lost. My partner, my relationships, again, they'd feel great, but over time, they felt empty. Nothing I did could maintain that depth. So I had to achieve, 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 conquer, overcome. And with all the things that I overcame, I still felt numb. So let's help him out. Taking that breath in. And it's not to do with it's not to say that physical achievements aren't a wonderful thing, but please find yourself first. Discover the depth and the truth of who you are first. And then explore from that place. If only I explored from that place. Then the smallest things like taking care of my partner, the kids, family, would have meaning, would have an enjoyment, would have satisfaction. I'd be satiated, regardless of where I went, what I conquered. So when I did conquer, it was even more profound. It was even more enlightening. As you take another breath in, noticing your bone structure, your feet, ankles, shins, kneecaps, thighs, pelvis, spine, ribs, sternum, collarbone, shoulder blades, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingertips, all the way back to the back of your neck, noticing your skull. Then noticing your entire bone structure throughout your body. It's quite a sad story. As you notice your breath, noticing what's supporting you, the ground, the chair, whatever is underneath you. Asking that question, how can I connect to my purest source even more? Mm. Noticing your breath. So we just help tidy up. Sir Edward's passing, and even his crew members. Just seems like a lot of them wanting to cross over. And that's the thing, guys, and maybe that's another topic that we talk about. Most people don't die properly. In fact, pretty much everyone in the past. These days, it's, different story, but most people get stuck here because they don't know how to cross over. So there's a lot of, and that's really what this time is about. We're awakening, and as a result of that, literally helping clear the dead, like clean up the dead that are just like hanging out in this density. So it's been happening quite a bit, just like dead people just kind of show up around me every now and then. So maybe that's why I'm being drawn to like do these sessions. So taking another breath in as we gather quite a bit of momentum here. All you need to do is notice your bone structure, your muscles, fibers, DNA, the cells, scanning through as deep as possible from the micro level all the way to a macro level. Tiny tissues, tiny cells, all the way to bigger body parts, like your skin, covering your body. So as we take that breath in, what if you could explore, what if you could conquer the right way? What if you did it from a place of harmony, or in the spiritual world, or say, a lot of like the, I believe, esoteric, I think it's called, teachings, that I amness, that beingness. You just are. As you take that breath in, noticing your bone structure and then your physical form, your body. Noticing your breath, bone structure, what's supporting you. That's what this session is about. It's about helping you redefine or define, depending on who you are, where you're at, yourself here. And not the distorted version, not the bullshit version that's, got all the troubles and, challenges. I'll say, the say, no offense, but the like lower level challenges. Not all that. Not that version of you, but that brilliant version of you. Right? That abundant version of you. That version of you that has true challenges that help expand you, right? That pull the best out of you. You grow, you expand, you access even deeper parts of who you are, right? True challenge, true growth. True, say, failure, right? You fail, you learn, and you take those lessons into the next moment to help you grow. You don't recycle old patterns, you continuously evolve. Taking yesterday's lessons into today, and then taking today into tomorrow. And just think about it. By taking that breath in, noticing your spine, imagine operating from a place where, yeah, you might make mistakes, but your inbuilt system is there to learn. Right? Your default setting is there to refine yourself. Yeah. After a while, you're going to gather a hell of a lot of momentum as you take another breath in. Kind of like a snowball, right? That snowball effect. If you've ever been to the snow, depending on the moisture in the snow or not. But there are some cases where you can start rolling a ball in the snow. And then it compacts even more snow on the ball as you roll it around, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Right? Imagine that ball rolling down a hill. Yeah, it might, again, make mistakes, but you're learning. You're getting bigger, right? That momentum is carrying you forward. And then all of a sudden, you hit a certain point in your journey, your process, where you've grown so much, you're gathering so much momentum, you can't stop, right? Success, abundance, it just is, right? It just is, okay? So you note your breath as we just sit here. noticing what's supporting you, the floor of the environment that you're in, whether it's a grass field, a wooden floor, a carpet. And then noticing you on whatever floor you're on, whatever chair you're on, whatever is supporting you. It's a very powerful place to be. So we'll learn from Shackleton's mistakes. We don't have to recreate the wheel. And for quite a lot of you on the call, you're already operating from that space. For some of you, maybe that are relatively new to me, you're kind of figuring that out. It's like, oh shit, what I've been doing, yeah, it works, but there's some fine tuning that I need to do. So just staying in this space, right? And for those that do want to, say, dive deeper into this process, right, this journey of self-discovery and then self-reflection, right? You reflect yourself here in this physical environment. You self-reflect, you reflect that brilliance of who you are, or you start to anyway, here in the physical. For those that want to dive into that, Timeless Foundations is coming up. The online program, November 11th, that's when we kick it off. We've got the foundations, Timeless Foundations, and then a more advanced program called Rapid Evolution. It's on my website. You don't have to look now, just stay in this space. But feel free to check it out on my website in your own time. And then for those that are in Sydney or in Australia, or if you're wherever you are, we've got in-person sessions in late November, and then kind of mid-ish December as well. So you can check that out as well. I'll be sending that out in the newsletter. So if you haven't signed up to the newsletter, feel free to. And in the meantime, and just stay here, noticing your breath. Noticing the environment around you. And then noticing you in your environment. Taking that breath in. And whenever you decide, you can open up your eyes, looking at something unmoving. And if any of you guys have any questions about anything that I kind of shared, feel free to comment in. Happy to answer them. I highly recommend just hanging out in this space though. For those that can stay here, stay here. I'll leave you in this space, guys. Continue on. You're doing an epic job, an amazing job. And if there's anyone that you want me to kind of tune into, tap into, learn from, let me know. You can email me at hello@james-mcdonald.com. And, this will probably be an on and off series. So not every week I'll, tap into someone. I'll probably juggle it with specific topics around life. Right? It could be health problems, imposter syndrome, all that, success mechanisms, all those amazing things. Creativity, right? Human creativity, something that's quite present for me at the moment. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. I hope everyone, I think it was in Miami, not in Miami, but somewhere in Florida. Maybe it was Miami. I hope everyone's all good over in the States with the hurricane. And yeah, all right, guys. Much love, peace, and I'll see you on the next one. See you then. Thanks for dropping by.